Hey guys, it's Melanie, and I wanted to come to you today and bring you another 2-week Trim Healthy Mama update. This will be the second update that I've done, which means that I'm currently now 4 weeks into my program, if you want to call it that. I'm sorry, my nose really itches. I did make some notes just to keep me focused because I like to ramble. So if you will recall, 2 weeks ago, my weight was 158 pounds, I believe. Let me preface this by saying I wasn't really 100% sure that I wanted to do this video because it hasn't been the most successful 2 weeks, and I'll get into kind of why as much as I can. I can't really go into a lot of detail, and I know that's very vague, but one of the reasons that I wanted to do these videos was, number one, to document my progress, but number two, also to provide encouragement to someone who may be on a journey similar to mine. And when I really thought about it, you know, life happens, and sometimes life isn't always great, and when that happens, it can really, you know, give you some challenges. And so I wanted to be real with you guys about this and be real with myself. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this video and share the truth, you know, my story. So, like I said, the past 2 weeks have been challenging for me, but I'm going to share with you, basically where I am. My current weight is 157 pounds, which is only a loss of 1 pound, which is, I'm not going to lie, that's discouraging. But it is what it is. What worked for me over the past 2 weeks, you know, some of the things that were my challenges last time I did an update, I planned dinners. I planned 2 full weeks worth of dinners, and I'm very proud to say that we stuck to the plan. Unless I'm forgetting something, we did not go out to eat or have takeout at all over the past 2 weeks, which is proof that if I plan, it's just a lot easier for me. So if I will take the time to sit down and plan out our dinners, we save money, you know, it's better for me, it's healthier for our whole family, but it's better for me on plan as well. And that was successful. That did work for me. I also went ahead and incorporated more whole grain options for my kids, meaning rice, pasta, and I even made potatoes a couple of times that, you know, they had, and I didn't. And that really worked. It helped them feel satisfied. It helped give them the nourishment that they need, and I just didn't have to partake in those options when it came to dinner, and so that was a success. What didn't work for me? Breakfast. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but breakfast is still really a challenge for me. And the other thing that didn't work for me is having no plan for breakfast, lunch, and snacks. We did okay. I didn't have any ridiculous, you know, cheats, if you want to call it that. It's just, I didn't have a solid plan for those, you know, those meals, and so those were a challenge. The biggest challenge, and this is the part that's, I don't really know how much to say. There have been a lot of things going on in my immediate family and in my extended family over the past several months that are just really starting to cause a lot of stress. To put it when you have someone in your family who you're very close to, even if it's not, you know, even if it's not you that's having to go through something, when someone that you care about very much is going through something that's difficult, it can cause stress on you too. And I have family members who are going through very difficult times right now, and because I care for them very deeply, I hurt for them. And some people would probably say, you know, whatever, it's their life, it's their business, but that's not me. And so I have been under stress because I'm worried about my family. That's a big part of it, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because, I mean, obviously it's nobody else's business. But there's just been a lot of stress. And anyone who has ever been on a journey to health or a journey to weight loss knows that stress is a killer. Stress, in my opinion, makes it impossible to lose weight. And I hope that it doesn't sound like a cop-out, but I attribute that to the reason that I haven't really lost hardly any weight in the past 2 weeks. Because I haven't been cheating. I haven't had desserts. I haven't been going out to eat. I haven't been eating a lot of things that I'm not supposed to eat, that aren't on plan. I've been sticking to the plan. But I'm under a lot of stress. And so, that is what it is. And a little warning, I don't want to be TMI or anything, but my cycle returned after over almost 2 years of not having it. Basically, the first year being when I was pregnant with my daughter, 9-10 months. And then an entire year after I had her, I didn't have to worry about it. And then the day after her first birthday, yay, it came back. And so that was lots of fun. And I know, because I watched the scale, that as soon as that happened, I started retaining water, and the pounds would not move. And so stress and all of that nonsense going on, it's just made it a really difficult 2 weeks. So no, my number on the scale has not changed significantly, and that's really discouraging. And it's difficult to not get incredibly discouraged, but I know that I've done what I'm supposed to do as far as sticking to the foods that I know are good for me. So just gonna have to try to keep chugging along. Another challenge for me, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, was breakfast. I'm so bad at breakfast. It's bad. I did prepare like some steel cut oats and then put it in the refrigerator for me to have for breakfast, and that helps. But I don't want to have oatmeal for breakfast every morning. A couple mornings I had, fried eggs, and I had an S meal for breakfast, and that's okay. But for the most part, I don't want to eat anything until like 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And by that time, I'm almost to lunch. So breakfast is still continuing to be a challenge for me. I don't really know for sure how I'm gonna deal with that, but I'm trying. So those were the biggest challenges for me, honestly. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Victories, I have increased my water intake, and that is, in my opinion, a huge victory, because I've always struggled with that all my life, really. I've never been a huge water drinker, and I know that that's terrible, and I know that I need to drink more water, and so that's why it was important to me to work on that, and I've done really, really well. I did work out. I did not work out every day, but I did incorporate workouts into my day the past couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, last week, there were 3 days in a row that I walked / jogged. I'm not talking like going for a stroll either. This was intense. I did like 8 miles in 3 days or something like that. It was one of those days we did 4 miles, and it was crazy. I was feeling that one. So yay, I worked out. That's awesome. See, that's the thing. I ate right and I worked out, and the scale didn't budge. Something's not right there. That's when you have to start thinking that there are other contributing factors. With my coffee, I know that I've discussed that a couple of times, and how I'm a coffee drinker. I'm almost where I want to be with the coffee. I have almost completely stopped using my coffee creamer. In fact, I haven't used it in a couple of days, and I'm fine. I'm getting to the point that I don't feel like I really miss it so much, and so that to me is a huge victory, because if I have anything that I would label as an addiction, that's it. So to be able to kick that habit is pretty awesome. And last update, I told you guys that the Good Girl moonshine recipe that I tried, that I really didn't like it. I tried a new one, or basically kind of the same one, and just altered it a little bit, and it was good. I liked it. It wasn't like my favorite drink ever, but it was good. I could tolerate it, and definitely something that I could get used to. Basically, I just used the Good Girl Moonshine recipe that is provided by the book, but I cut the apple cider vinegar, I think, in half, and I also cut the ginger in half, and I added a packet of the True Lemon, so basically it tasted a little bit more like lemonade with just a little bit of a kick to it. And the plan is, and I got this idea from someone else, a blogger, I'm just gonna, increase my ACV, the apple cider vinegar, and the ginger a little bit at a time until I get more accustomed to the taste of it. So to me, that's a success. I was able to find a recipe that I like, and I know that there are a lot of health benefits to drinking the Good Girl Moonshine, so I'm excited to continue drinking that. And I have notes, like I said. The plan going forward, I really need to find a way to figure out breakfast. I need to plan breakfast, I need to plan lunch, and I need to plan snacks. My lunch is pretty disgraceful because while I am eating things that are on plan, I rarely sit down to eat lunch. I'm usually feeding my kids and my husband at lunchtime, cleaning up after lunchtime and whatnot, and so I'm usually just throwing something together and eating it, and it's probably not very well balanced. It's, I'm eating plan approved foods, but lunch is just not, it's not all that grand. So I need to do better about breakfast and lunch and snacks. I have not had dessert at all in the past 2 weeks. Or maybe since I made dessert one time in the very beginning when I first started this, this style of eating. I'm not a huge dessert person, so I don't know. But I'll tell you what, the past 2 weeks I have wanted some dessert, and I didn't have any, so I don't know if that's a victory or not. Planning to continue working out. I just need to do it as much as I can. I know that it's good for me, even if the number on the scale isn't changing. I know that it felt really good to get out there and use my muscles, and so I am going to continue doing that. And this one almost seems silly, but I'm going to attempt to stress less. I don't know how. I don't know how you do that, as far as, do you just say, okay, well, I'm just going to stress less. I don't know. That part is, it is what it is. We go through things in our lives that it's just hard. And like I said, there are things going on in my extended family that are difficult. We had a death in the family that I know one of my family members took really hard. A very close family member of mine took really hard, and that was, it hurts to see your parents, quite frankly, hurt. It's just difficult. And then in my immediate family, as in my husband and kids and myself, immediate family, we've just got a lot of stuff going on that we're trying to work through. So we're just going to keep trying, and I plan on doing another update in 2 weeks and hope that things are better then, and that I have, more victories and maybe hopefully less challenges to report. In the meantime, if you guys have any suggestions, if you've been on this journey, or, if you have any suggestions about how I can work through some of these challenges, I would love to hear them. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I don't know everything when it comes to the Trim Healthy Mama way of eating, but yeah, I would love to discuss it with anyone who is looking for information or just wants to chat. So leave me a comment below, and I hope you guys are doing really well and that you're having a great week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.